Sup witches, Celeste of the Silver Cord here, and I'm just going to be doing a quick reading for Virgo's March 2020. This is just the energies that we're going to be coming into March with, and going to be facing in March. Now we have Mercury retrograde going on right now. We're about halfway through it. It's going to end on March 10th, and then Mercury's going to go direct, and that's I always say the shadow phases are the hardest parts of Mercury retrograde. The 2 weeks before it seem to be when a lot of stuff happens. That's when the pressure happens and things slow down, and that's what causes the conflict, is the sudden slowdown. And now, the first, especially with the first Mercury retrograde of the year, usually ends right at the beginning of Aries season. So what causes the conflict in the post-shadow phase is the sudden acceleration. So that's the message that I've been getting for a lot of signs, is that things are really going to shift very, very quickly in March. It's going to feel like you're being, I guess you could say it's kind of the whole arrow being pulled back before its launch type deal. That's what Mercury retrograde does to people. So it kind of pulls you back a little bit before you get that big burst of energy to really jump forward. And that's going to be coinciding with a full moon. So Mercury is going to go direct on the 10th, and we've got the full moon on the 9th in March. So that's just got a lot happening. So let's just see what our Virgos are dealing with for March 2020. No jumpers, let's just give it a shuffle. Well, it's pretty clear that it's speaking on a time of dropping dropping an old cycle to let a new cycle begin. It's close out this old cycle. Get control of your own cup. Drop the illusions. Set up healthy boundaries and shields around yourself, and get control over your own thoughts and your words. So this is very much, very straightforward. It's time to let old cycles go. And in order to get control of your emotions, you need to drop the illusion and the fantasy around what it is. Take some time to really recuperate. The Four of Swords is about recuperation. So it's time to take some time to recuperate. And the Ace of Swords, I always, I look at as the air card that is thoughts and words. And if you can't control the words coming out of your mouth, you really can't control anything. I mean, and this is coming from, I'm a triple fire sign, sun, moon, and rising. So I have a hard time controlling my words. But you should not have that same excuse. You guys pride yourselves on your mental clarity and how analytically that you can think, and all your ability to be discernment and stuff like that, and all logical. And it's time to drop whatever illusion or fantasy you've had, probably on another person, an illusion that you thought you had of this person. It's time to let all that go. or the fantasy, whatever fantasy you were holding on to, because we have this habit of doing visualizations, and then when we get really close to getting a visualization come to fruition, there's always something that you either didn't plan on, or it's harder than you thought it would be. And it's time to move past those kinds of energy. I'm getting that for a lot of signs right now too. Like, I don't know if that's what this Mercury retrograde was about, is dropping the persona, but it's a lot of big message coming through for a lot of signs, is it's really time to drop the mask. You really want to get into that manifesting energy. You really want victory. You got to be able to walk away from the illusions. And that's how prosperity and abundance will come in for you. Yeah, so even for your clarifiers, so you got to close out, this is the undercurrent that's going along with these energies right now. So now, the easiest path for you is to, I say the easiest path, it's always easier said than done, but the smoothest path for you really is to allow a cycle to die out, get control over your own emotions, drop the illusions, take time to recuperate, and set healthy boundaries, be these boundaries with other people. If you are an empath and you are struggling with letting go of connections that are toxic to you, or you are allowing other people to affect your energy all the time, it is time to really build a shield up around yourself, so that way you are in control of your own energy. If you're an empath and you're constantly being affected by everyone around you's energy, that means you're a weak empath. You're never going to be able to change the circumstances around you if you can't even gain control of your own emotions, of your own self, of your own energy. If it's constantly somebody else's fault that your energy is messed up, that is your fault, because you're allowing other people to constantly affect your energy. The undercurrent here, I mean, we have the Jack of Hearts and the Jack of Swords down here. You have the Six of Wands, which is victory, the Eight of Cups, which is walking away, and the Ace of Pentacles. So it's as soon as you muster up the strength to walk away from those things that no longer serve you. And this happened in another, I think this spread before this one, where it had the Eight of Cups directly followed by the Ace of Pentacles. And that's because there is no room for new things to come in if you can't walk away from old habits, old people, old toxic relationships, you know, all of that, old bad habits. If you, in all their forms, if you genuinely want to make room for real change to come into your life, you have to let go of those things that no longer serve you, including those things of your own personality that just do not serve you. It's not saying that act like it never happened, or, you know, act like you're better than everybody else, but it is time to really drop the illusion and grow up and move away from these things so new things can come in. And this is just a really, with the Jack of Swords here going into the King of Swords, it's really just a maturing. It's time to get power over your own thoughts and your own words and master them. That's going to be your, I guess, Mercury retrograde goal, or for March, when this big shift happens, because I see this big shift is going to be happening around the full moon for people, when Mercury goes direct and things really start taking off again. That's when you're going to want to be in control of your thoughts and your words. And you should always be mindful of your words, because your words can be used against you if you are hasty and opinionated, which is what the Jack really represents there, is being hasty and being opinionated with your words. And it's time to master that by the King of Swords there. a mastery of words, a mastery of your thoughts and your words, not allowing other people to trigger you, not allowing politics to ruin a family get-together, being masterful in ways of being able to cut through the bullshit, but at the same time, you can take control over the energy of the room. If you set up a healthy boundary and maintain your own energy and maintain control over your own thoughts and your own words before you take action, you can take control of the energy of the entire room. You can start directing the conversation to where you want it to be. So if you're constantly having political fights or you're constantly having things like that, if you gain control over your triggers, you can control the flow of conversation around you. Always. I mean, that's the power of creating your own reality. Truly. And especially if you're an empath, if you can feel that other people are getting agitated, you can get ahead of that. Alright. And we got 2 cards. Just what I was talking about, taking time to really recuperate and heal and set up healthy shields and healthy boundaries and look to the shaman and ancient healing wisdoms and really reach back and reach within yourself for ways to make yourself feel empowered in a way that you create the healthy shield around you where you are not being so influenced by everybody else's energy around you, and you grasp the ability of being able to create around you instead of being a victim to circumstances and energies around you. It's time for you to have your shields up strong enough so that you are in control and you can create the reality around you. It doesn't always work. Some people are more hard-headed than the others. Some people want to get into a fight, and those are going to be the kind of people that you cannot steer the conversation for them, or you cannot control those. But those are going to be the times where you're going to have to reach into your inner wisdom to know when to walk away from those types of situations and stay in areas where you can either create or co-create with those with you easily, and yeah, then you'll be able to really manifest the reality around you that you're really working for. All right, Virgo, if you like this, please like, share, subscribe, spank the bell to get more notifications. I'll leave a link below for our Facebook group, the Coven, the Silver Cord, where we do cards of coffee, messages from the universe, other fun things. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. Blessed be.